informed, up. But in our Muslim community, sometimes we don't. We teach the Salah, we teach the Quran. All these things are very, very important. But finance matters as well from an Islamic perspective. We'll, inshallah, aim to cover these 6 questions. What is my budget? Why am I investing? What is the amount of money I'm aiming to get to? What is my risk appetite? What should my portfolio be made up of? And what investment options are out there for me? Now, we always try to, the goal should always be, how do we make ourselves better Muslims or better people, or pleasing to Allah? So as I said, we're always trying to work on our worship, on our knowledge. But there's a hadith that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that even if on the day of resurrection you have a seed in your hand, plant that seed. What is he trying to teach us by that? Can anyone in the audience try and have a guess at what that might mean, why that's important?
Yeah, it's regardless of the situation, always look ahead and make your plan.
Exactly right. Well, be productive with it, right? Even no matter what your position, if you just had that one seed in a day where nothing really matters, but you have one seed, spend it productively. So this tells us, and this is something as a community sometimes we fall short on. So it matters not just from our own personal benefit to increase our finance, increase our wealth, but it matters from a sense and from a lens of Islam. And we are not the owners of wealth. Allah owns everything, and we are entrusted with it. So Islamic Finance Guru, how did we come about? What is our mission? So does anyone here heard of Ibrahim Khan? He is the sort of founder of our organization. He studied PP at Oxford, then he went on to do a master's in Islamic finance. He then went into corporate law and started writing a blog about Islamic finance called the Islamic Finance Guru, so IFG. Off the back of that, set up an Islamic finance or asset manager investment firm, because you can take a horse to water, but you should also provide that water with it. And a bit about myself as well, I should have started with. I joined Curate Capital and IFG in July, and my history is working in turnaround and strategy consulting for it was a massive business, 2 billion in revenue, and before that I was in property and real estate. And so with that sort of blend, it's important that we analyze Islamic finance, investments, what we do with our wealth from all professions and all jobs. Doesn't matter if you're a doctor, lawyer, teacher, cleaner, you are be trusted with the wealth. This is a bit about our story, so a timeline. Started the blog in 2015, Ibrahim did. Then sort of towards 2019, set up an actual Islamic investment manager. So as a Muslim, if you wanted to hold your money with Curate Capital, say, you could invest with them, and then sort of partnered with all of these organizations. We also partner with Saturna Capital, who you'll be hearing from shortly, inshallah. And then now we're sort of managing around 190 million USD dollars. And we have various different products that I'll talk about later. Alhamdulillah, also written a book, so if anyone is interested in learning more about Islamic finance and how to personally manage your money, this book is basically these presentations on steroids. So if you're looking to sort of enrich your knowledge further, please do. Halal Investing for Beginners is the book. So, what is personal finance? Do we have any brave brothers that can maybe answer a question on what would you say personal finance is? Anyone? I might pick on you.
My income? My wages.
Right, wages,
Yeah.
yes, wages. What is it?
Saving as well.
Savings as well, yeah, absolutely, makes up part of the formula. So your savings, investments, all of that, your income minus your expenditure equals your savings. So exactly right, brothers. Now, this all seems very basic, right? Where everyone's sitting here thinking, oh, I learned this in, I can learn this in primary school. There are so many people in our demographic that are in debt. Why? Because at the early stages of their finance, we get this basic formula wrong. Our income is not with, if your income isn't greater than your expenditure, there's sort of like the rest of this talk doesn't really matter. We need to work on doing that. So you can scan this QR code. I think maybe with this, we can do it the old-fashioned way. This is basically using AI you upload your bank statements and it goes through. It's a really sophisticated system, but we can just do it the old-fashioned way. So these are typical ways in which we would increase our income and we could reduce our expenditure. When was the last time if our Wi-Fi bill, reducing things like that, reducing what we're spending on our TVs, our utility bills, all these types of things. It's important, brothers. It may sound basic, but when is the last time we actually reviewed these things, created maybe one document, simple document on our phone? These are my outgoings. This is what I usually spend money on. This is how I make money. How can I just every month reduce this a little bit and increase my income? The basic exercises that, myself included, we need to proactively do this. It's part of our mission. So as I said before, there's 4 tiers of personal finance, and as I said, if you don't clear off debts, if your income is lower than your expenditure, the first thing you need to do is work on that and start clearing off your short-term debt. Then you should have an emergency fund. How many brothers here, feel free to not put your hand up, have emergency funds away? We need to be having emergency savings for anything that can happen. Then, inshallah, we can get on a property ladder, investments. Why might properties or assets in today's climate be extremely important and more so important than it used to be? Any ideas? Why having a property in today's climate might be important? I'll give.
Little bit earlier in London, it used to be quite easy to invest in properties, but now it's quite a little bit tough. But that will give you a bit more sort of what you call disposable income from that property. If you rent it, or even if you live in it, but the mortgage, you pay the mortgage, then your income you can save is
absolutely, absolutely.
Almost like residual income.
Yep, absolutely.
It's inflation proof.
Yeah, so say that a bit louder, brother.
Inflation proof.
He said it's inflation proof. So right now we're living in a time where there's high inflation, which costs are going up, as we know, the cost of living prices. So brother said it very poignantly there, inflation proof. So assets, bricks, mortar, investing with people, if they're investing in fixed income and real estate and these types of things, it's inflation proof. So it goes up as inflation goes up. You're protecting yourself in a way. And then as well, start investing. The property ladder and investing sort of go hand in hand. Okay, this is one of my favorite parts. If you will just take a brief minute to look at this timeline. There's just a couple, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm going to highlight a couple of things. So if we look at this, I was once in Bradford. Don't know if any of you brothers have anyone been to Bradford before? Okay. So I was in Bradford and a Lamborghini went past. Young brother in Lamborghini. My first thought, astaghfirullah, was drug dealer. That was my first thought. Then another Lamborghini went past. Then I thought, okay, maybe crypto brothers. Then another Lamborghini went past. This is like in succession. And then another one, and another one. And it was a Pakistani wedding. I'm from Pakistan myself. And it was a wedding. Does anybody here know, based on our research, right? Does anybody here know what the average spend on a Muslim wedding is in the UK?
30,000?
£30,000? £50,000? Yeah, bang on. £50,000. And this was done 10 years ago. So if we sort of adjust that for inflation and whatnot, it's probably closer to £60,000 now. We need to redo that. But that's what our survey said, conducted by IFG. What is the average spend of a UK, someone who's originally from the UK? Anyone can guess what the average spend for their weddings is? 100,000, interesting.
120.
120,000.
5 to 10.
20,000. It's actually, yeah, 25 to 30,000 pounds.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's not as much as Muslims. And we are not the richest demographic, brothers and sisters. So it's these types of financial decisions that I really want to talk about. Something else I want to talk about is a junior ISA. Does anyone here knows what an ISA is? ISA stands for? Yeah, investment savings account. So we have JISAs, junior investment savings account. Brothers, I went to school and it was a fairly diverse school. When we hit 18, my English friends were given these random things. At this time, I didn't know. Their parents had been saving for them in something called an ISA. And all of a sudden, at 18, they could go traveling around the world or pay off their uni debts, pay towards their uni tuition fees, and they could do all these things. And then the Muslim brothers were looking around thinking, what's going on? What's going on? We all came from the same place. We don't have £5,000, £10,000 that we're just given. What's happening is their parents were saving from a young age in tax-free savings accounts, junior ISAs, little bits every month, £100 a month, £50 a month. These are habits that as Muslims we must get into. This is part of our worship. This is obviously we need to spend our money well, but this is part of our deen. Sometimes I don't know about in certain communities, but in some communities you see birthday parties, these lavish expenditures. My nephew, bless him, if you go into his room, there's just toys and toys and toys and toys, and so many toys. And I can't help but think, these little decisions from parents to just invest for their children and save for them, when they get to 18, it's a huge difference. These things add up. So if there's one thing you leave with today, start saving for the future if you have children. I know there are a lot of brothers that look like they have children. I don't know if that's offensive to say. Sorry if it is. But this is something really important. We need to be thinking about that. I know when they're moaning, you just want to get them that, that phone or this or that. Save for them, inshallah, and whatever it is. We'll talk about sort of Islamic savings that they can do later. And yeah, there are other things here like house, and imagine not spending that money on a wedding and spending it on a house deposit, astaghfirullah, God forbid, these types of things, Pensions, just a very quick one. How many brothers here have opt into their pension, or how many brothers here opt out of their pension because maybe they think it's not Sharia compliant? Any brothers here? Yes, we have some brothers here. This is very common, and actually the Department of Pensions had a meeting with Ibrahim a couple of weeks ago because in the Muslim demographic we are very underrepresented in the pension space because people are worried that it's haram or there are underlying things within the pension that are not permissible. And that is the case. But most big employers have Sharia compliant options. But you have to speak to your employer, you have to be proactive. There are so many Muslims either that opt out of a pension because they believe that it's haram, or they opt in not knowing that their money is being used in haram ways. Please speak to your employers, see if there is a halal Sharia compliant option. For a lot of firms, there actually is now.
We have pension, we take up the money. It is haram or halal?
Look, I'm not a scholar, but if you investigate and speak to your pension provider, there is sometimes pensions, they are investing in things like interest-bearing loans or bonds. Bonds, sorry. That would be impermissible. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But there are ways to speak to your employer and your pension be moved into a Sharia compliant one. So that would be the first step, I would say, is speak to your pension provider and just say, the simple point, is there opportunity for a Sharia compliant option?
Because I don't know where is coming the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Where is coming the money from?
Exactly.
What is it?
So that's why.
So we are it haram the haram. That's it. Simple.
Sorry.
You mean?
Yeah. No. It's good. But
It's
it's good to ask questions and investigate. Inshallah, that's our duty. That's on us.
Yeah, because when you get any benefit, where is coming the money from to give you? It is halal or haram. Who you know that?
Yeah.
You know me? I don't know. Where is coming from?
Yeah, but inshallah, try and speak to your pension provider. 3 essentials of investing. Okay, so alright, we've done all the things before. We're allowing us to have that excess disposable income. The side hustles are going well. How do we use that funds in applicable ways? So these are the 3 staple rules: consistency, diversify, long term. Has anyone heard of Warren Buffett here? Heard of Warren Buffett? Does anyone know what Warren Buffett says is the 8th wonder of the world?
Compound?
Compounding. This is the net worth of Warren Buffett on a timeline from the age of 14 to 83. If you look at that, it's incredible. And the reason? Compounding. Nowadays, you look on social media, everyone my age, we want to get rich in 5 seconds. We want to get, where's the next crypto project? I want 5,000x, all these types of things. The reality is, when you go down that rabbit hole, you make a lot, you lose a lot, you make a lot, you lose a lot. People like Warren Buffett teach these rules of compounding. Not saying I'm an advocate for Warren Buffett, by the way. I'm just showing you an illustrative view of compounding long term, especially for children, especially for the future. Money, it goes like this, goes like this, goes like. Then all of a sudden, it's exponential. We need to be benefiting from these types of things. Consistency.
Sorry, in that case, to interrupt you, the compounding, the way I understand mainly, is investing where there's high interest.
So when I'm saying compounding, let's say invest with Saturna Capital or Curate Capital, let's say, and we offer you, just for basic principles, 10% returns. That would be compounding that, so 100k is then 110k, then it's 110k times by 10%, so that would be 121,000, so you make 11,000 pounds in the second year, whereas in the first year you 10,000 pounds. So it's exponential growth, but I don't mean compound from just an interest. I mean, with your investments that you make, after a few years, the returns you get are going to be way higher than they were in the first few years.
But on that one, the interest is slightly, the why I only touched the interest was because the investment, you're sharing the risk, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you're not always expecting that you get dividend, but sometimes you're prepared to take a risk and loss.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right, isn't it? So then that can then fit into a compounding kind of term, isn't it? Or actually understand, isn't it?
Right, so you're saying you can offset risk by long-term compounding.
Yeah, because the compounding interest is just they give you fixed interest, and then that's how it works. And then Islamically, you cannot go into that because there's interest into it.
Yeah.
But then when you're investing, the difference is that though there might be dividends, something come out of it, but there's a risk on it, isn't it? Where you're sharing the risk, loss, and gain at the same time.
Yes.
It cannot be consistently always you getting all this money.
Yes, but there are performing products that have been consistent. I'm sure with Saturna Capital and Accurate Capital, we've had consistent performing products. So you will, obviously, there are some years where it'll be slightly down and slightly up, but that's everything, right? So you can still benefit from the laws of compounding in a halal way. Another thing is diversifying. So who knows what I mean by diversifying your portfolio?
Many different investments.
Exactly. So the truth is, obviously, I'm here on behalf of Curate Capital, an Islamic investment firm. So obviously, we'd want people to invest with Curate. But the truth is, you should invest your money with Saturna, with Curate, with Wahid, all of these different types of Islamic investment providers, because you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. Anyone heard this term before? So it's not as easy as that though, because if you think about it, we've all heard of stocks and shares, we've all heard of bonds and these types of things. Brothers, sorry, I know you may not be able to see, but I'll explain the pie chart. But this is a chart.
So you just move that sign up there, we can see.
Yeah.
Just the sign, just push it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
So a lot of Muslims here, when we grow up, we don't hear a lot of these terms: private equity, venture capital, all these types of things that are alternative asset classes. This is how I mean diversifying your portfolio, not just different companies, but also in different ways. Because if the real estate market crashes and you've invested all your money in real estate, it's gone. You know, so you have to be diversified. Or if you invest all your money in the stock market and the stock market crashes and Trump decides he's going to do tariffs, money depletes. So you have to allocate percentages. So we have all of these resources on Islamic Finance Guru, where you can design your own portfolios.
I think there's a lack of education, not only to the Muslim community. Like you go to school up to late, you start learning finances. They don't teach
And
finances.
you don't even within schools you don't learn these things. Even I did A-level economics. I studied economics, politics, and history at university. Still, these things are barely covered. You go into the intricacies of random models and things that actually help you aren't there. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And another thing is time in the market as opposed to timing the market. The stock market generally,
Excuse the pun.
yeah, the stock market generally, if you look at this, goes upwards. If you panic and then when things go down, or as I said, Trump does some tariffs and the market goes down, you panic and sell,
Panic selling.
you miss the big jumps. So if you took your money out in certain days over 20 years, you can lose hundreds of thousands of pounds or however much you invest. So generally be patient when you're investing in things that are more long-term, gold, stock market, these types of things. Main investment options, so stocks, fixed income / property, and alternative assets. So I mentioned a couple already, but we all know what stocks are. Most of us know what fixed income and property is. Any ideas on what alternative asset maybe?
Crypto.
Yeah, crypto.
It's not safe.
Yeah.
Exchange traded funds.
Sorry?
Exchange traded funds.
Yeah, exchange traded funds.
Gold.
Yeah, venture capital, these types of things. And these are typically things that are not being accessible to Muslims because a lot of venture capital firms, venture capital is basically, in layman's terms, investing in startup companies and then investing loads of startup companies, and ones that go to the moon, like Uber or Netflix, you make your money returning on them, right? Now, previously, as Muslims, we have been restricted from investing with venture capital firms because they invest in so many startups that some of them may be haram or gambling one or something that involves interest or whatnot. So we can't invest in the whole portfolio because of a few of the funds. So alhamdulillah, now there are Islamic options out there. If you type in Islamic venture capital on Google, you look into Islamic Finance Guru, I mean, we offer it, you can work with Wahed, and I know Saturna has loads of different products, venture capital in Saturna. But yeah, they have other things as well which you need to diversify with. Yes, Rob?
What about pension scheme? Is that halal pension scheme?
Yeah, we spoke about pensions earlier. If you speak to your employer and ask them for a Sharia compliant pension scheme, a lot of firms have them nowadays, but you have to ask. It's not automatic. So some of them are halal. Yeah, and some of them are halal. We have this little exercise. I know we're running short on time, so but it's very important, brothers. If you're looking to retire, that you actually pick a figure. So let's say, what's a salary? Someone shout out a salary that I'd be happy to retire with. Anyone? Sorry?
3,000%.
2,000 a month. Okay, so a salary of £24,000 a year. Let's say 25. Let's say £25,000, right? If you're getting a 10% return on investment, I know that's reasonably high, but just for math's sake, brother would have to save £250,000, right? Because then you can have a part of investment, 10% on that, 25k every year. A brother can retire. So you need to set that goal. Set that goal now. Oh, if I want £25,000 to retire, and I know I can get 10% returns of Saturna Capital or Curate Capital on this thing, I need to save £250,000. We need to set actual figures, do the maths ahead of time, and not just, randomly, I'm thinking about retiring. Do you know what I mean? You need to be more focused with it. We'll also get this one out. This is just a general, there are so many Islamic options out there. You've got Saturna Capital as well. So what I'm trying to say is there's so many different ways that there's options now. This didn't exist 20 to 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And just a brief introduction to Curate Capital. So we have different products ranging from income funds that are low risk to products that are private equity, venture capital that are sort of more high risk, high reward, that sort of thing. We're in 3 different countries. We have offices in Dubai, we have offices in South Africa, Cape Town, and we have an office in London. And inshallah, working to follow our brothers at Saturna and set up an office in the USA, inshallah.
What kind of business that? What
Sorry?
kind of job?
Sorry.
What kind of a job about?
So this is Curate Capital's in. If you wanted to invest money with Curate Capital, they would give returns on that investment. It's Islamic investment, so Sharia compliant investments. We have investors from all over the world, so you don't have to just be from UK to invest with us. As you can see there, we have 25% from different parts of the world. This is a bit about our team. We have investment managers now who used to work at the Big Four, so like PwC, KPMG, all of these big firms. Our head of investments, Suleiman, he worked in the Sharia compliant HSBC team, and then Ibrahim and Mohsin as well, the founders of Islamic.
What about
Finance.
if you want to worker, Antuman?
Yeah, we'll
You
let
did
know,
that?
inshallah.
Huh?
They just have an office, they don't have.
Don't know, I told that.
You can ask them later.
Because I needed the job.
And inshallah. And another thing is, these things that we're offering, they're typically, if you go into the city and you want to invest in private equity, you normally have to have minimum tickets of like hundreds of thousands of pounds. Now, alhamdulillah, there are loads of companies like us at Curate Capital that make it a bit more accessible for people. We are regulated by the FCA, so if you're a retail investor, you can have access to private equity. We have this whole business scheme where we're investing in pharmacies across the UK, and you can get in with as little as £5,000. This has not been typically available for Muslims, especially at these sort of lower prices. As you can see here, I won't go through this. We have an app. So the app is, anyone can sign up with the app. You have to be of a certain, you have to be a sophisticated investor to actually invest with us, but anyone can sort of download the Curate app. You can look through, I've got a QR code here. Hopefully this actually works. I tested it.
Yeah, it works.
Okay, perfect, there we go.
Is it by IFG Curate Capital?
That's the one, that is the one. So I'll put that here, brother. And so I'll actually just stop it there, leave that up. But just our play brothers, is there any questions just before?
Yes. Then tell if they want
I think he'll take the questions now.
Yeah.
What's the minimum?
Somebody enjoying videos, how many percent you will give it for the months it's paying?
It depends on the product.
Okay.
It depends on the product. So if you go on the website, you see it's all there. Yeah. 5,000.
5,000.
Yeah.
5,000.
5,000.
5,000 is the minimum.
What's the minimum and the maximum?
There is no maximum.
But the minimum is 5k.
Well, there probably is a maximum, but no one's ever.
So we saying the minimum is 5k, yeah?
Yeah.
And by the app.
Yeah, you could invest.
So the minimum on the app as well is 5.
Yeah. So some of our products, they pay every 3 months, or 6 months dividends. Yeah, 3 to 6 months.
They have different packages.
How much, what is risk in them?
So some products are low risk, on a lower percentage. Some products are risky and the money is has to be tied up for a few years, and you see the returns at the end of the few years. It just depends on what you invest in. If you look on the website and our platform, see this slide here. This is the different things that we offer. But yeah, I think that's should be.
Do you invest on property developers, like buying land and building houses?
Yeah, sometimes and some like our income fund has investments with Islamic mortgages, so it would that's would be backed by real estate in a way. But yeah, Jazakallah khair.
Oh, do you have a website as well?
Yeah, Curate Capital.
Oh, just .com.
Oh,
Or
Yeah,
just Google it.
Just Curate Capital.
I guess so.
Yeah. Well, thank you, brothers. Jazakallah khair. It's been a pleasure.
So, brother, can you touch a little bit how old the company is?
All right, don't leave, bros.
And also, at the moment,
No, you have to see. You have to stay.
Now I have Sultana. I was just the warm up. This is the main event.
It's a warm up guy.
Say no more.
Second of it. All right, so you wanna introduce? Okay, you can.
Okay, so our next guest will be Bro Pontus from Saturna Capital. So Bro Pontus is also a member of Muslim Aid Sweden, our Sweden branch for Muslim Aid, but he's also works for Saturna Capital. He will go, now that Bros from the QA have gone into an overview of investment and the different types of investment, Bro will go into more details of the different ways of investment that you can do and give you a bit more insight on how your halal investment works and how they're Sharia compliant, and you can actually get a better understanding of how to look for these type of things, inshallah, when you're doing your research. So, without further ado, Bismillah.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Let's see if I can stand still the whole time. I like to move around, that's why. My name is Pontus Bilanselander. I'm from Sweden. So, from the north of Sweden, actually, where it's snow already, but I live in Stockholm. So, huh? Hey, Sam. Oh, good. Have you been to Sweden?
From Sverige.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that.
Alhamdulillah.
I know this.
Good.
I remember that. Okay,
Good to have another Swedish brother.
Yeah. I remember.
He thought I was from Algeria, though.
I went sure. You know why? Because you're the other guy.
It's
English.
No, it's very far away.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. Because
Alhamdulillah.
different complexions, you know.
Okay. Let me see. This works. Yes. Just a short disclaimer. Whatever I say is not to be taken as an advice. This is a boring slide. I need to have it. So just let me know when you read through, yeah?
I don't blame you, man.
Agenda, just a short agenda. Brother Ziad took you through different forms of investing. I'm going to come down more into stocks. Whereas, if you invest in property, you build your portfolio, maybe you have some fixed income, but the more liquid money and savings you can have is actually in the stock market. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it, and also about some risk, how to think about risk when you build a portfolio. I'm going to start off with my journey, my own journey actually, after my introduction. So I'm a master's in finance, and since a year and a half actually I've been working with Saturna Capital, who is the largest Sharia fund in the Western world. So based in Stockholm. Just a short note on Saturna. We actually have the son of the founder of Saturna here today, Max Kaiser. So this is a privileged evening for me. This is the first time we meet today, actually, even though I've been visiting Saturna in Bellingham on the west coast of the US. So around $10 billion in UM. We have 4 funds in the US, so equity funds, stocks and shares, and 1 sukuk. Do everyone know what a sukuk is? fixed income. It's like a Islamic bond, if you know what a bond is interest-based, right? But in Islam, we have asset-backed. It's called sukuk. So, for example, when a company wants to invest, I'm an airline company, I want to invest in a new plane. I'll get the money from the market, and I'll say to the market, I'll share with you the profits over 5 years. Okay? And then I'll pay you back. So this is sukuk. Right. So we have one of those. And we have one, this one, we have one ETF in a fund, a global equity fund here in the UK actually. You can buy it anywhere, really, on any investment platform. So, a little about my journey. I had my master's in '99. I became Muslim in 2003. I didn't plan it. Wasn't planned at all. It just happened. I was.
I said you're so lucky.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I'm here today.
Just say the one word is Al-Fatiha.
Yeah.
Guides we guides and misguides we.
Exactly.
You got the guide.
Exactly.
MashaAllah.
So, and with this came something new for me. I studied finance, but in 2005, a friend from university, he went into finance himself, and we had a lunch, and he said, "I'm starting this financial advisory business, and I want you to be my partner." So I thought, oh yeah, I'm kind of entrepreneurial. I've been running quite a few companies in my life. So I joined with a 20% stake, not really thinking about what we're going to do. And he said, it was, tempting me with all this money. We're going to make loads of money, he said. I know this business, we're going to make loads of money. So I joined. And in 2008, I got married. My wife is from Blackburn, up north, Indian background. So I'm half UK myself, half local. But what happened was, we tried to have kids. And this is the first time I really started to question what I was doing, okay? I started to realize that we are not doing stocks and shares as my projection was from the beginning. We were doing bonds, we were doing stock options, which is all haram, right? So I thought, maybe this has something with why she can't get pregnant. So I actually started to think, and I made a dua in 2009. Please Allah, take me out of this haram and take me into something halal. And make me a tool for you to benefit other Muslims. So alhamdulillah, 1 month after my dua, I got a phone call from a headhunting company that offered me a job as a head of sales for a wind power company in Sweden. So alhamdulillah, this was my way out of the haram business I was doing. So in 2010, I left, and 4 months after, my wife got pregnant. So I left everything. I left my 20% stake in the company, I left all the money behind, and just started a new journey. So alhamdulillah, and things are starting to happen now. It's nice. I got my second child, Sophia. She was born in 2014. I joined Islamic Relief on the board in 2019. I went to Hajj 2 times. 2019, I joined Muslim Aid Sweden, part-time. But then something happened. In 2022, another friend from university came, non-Muslim, said that I brought into finance. I hired him in my old company. And he stayed behind, and he said, Pontus, we're starting an investment company, and I want you to be a partner. I was like, oh God, here we go, God. Shaitan is, tempting me with money. We're going to make loads of money, he said. And weak as I am, I joined. After 2 years, I actually thought, no, I can't do this anymore. And luckily, I met a few years before this, I met Monim Salam. He's one of the fund managers of the Saturna equity funds. colleague of Max, 23 years I think he's been with the company. It's amazing. So I met him in Sweden. He did a talk like this on Islamic finance, and I called him up in spring 2024, and I said, listen, I'm leaving this finance business now. I know you need someone in Europe, so will you have me? So alhamdulillah, accepted. So thank you so much, Max, here today. So this is where I am now, alhamdulillah. It's a short, and why am I telling this story? Because I probably done 40 or 50 different seminars in 1 year. And everywhere I go, I just spent last week in Zurich, in Switzerland. I did 3 seminars with Monim Salam in Copenhagen. I did 1 in Sweden, and then we came here to London for the 40th anniversary of Muslim Aid. And everywhere I go, I found people that's been in the same situation. Juggling your life between halal, haram, what is it? Can I work with this? Can I do this? Can I invest in this? It's hard. It's very hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for anyone. So that's why I'm telling this. It's not easy. But there's also solutions. About investing, Brother Siad took you through a little bit. Is investing part of a religion? He said it was. Do you think it is? Yes? It is? No? Yes?
For your future.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
Security.
so Prophet Muhammad said, investing in private investing or business, running your own business investing is
Security.
9 parts of a 10.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair, brother.
If you work for
Really good.
is 1 person.
Yeah.
Out of 10. If you work for your own business, it is 9 of 10.
Exactly.
It is more profitable.
Alhamdulillah. That's good. That's really good. This is another saying. This is Umar ibn Khattab. Do you see this?
Yeah.
It's a saying, Yahya related me from Malik, that Umar ibn Khattab said, trade with the property of orphans, and then it will not be eaten away by zakat. Okay? What does this mean? Zakat is one thing, but we have something else that Siad said. What do we have today? What is, if we don't invest our money, if we don't trade with our money, what will happen with the money? Inflation. Thank you. So, this is the last 10 years. If you kept your money in the bank, inflation would have actually diminished the purchasing power of your money. If you invested in the stock market, it would actually protected your capital from inflation, right? So this is, and I have to put in a disclaimer here as well. Whatever historical profits are not a guarantee for the future. Okay. All right. Need to do it. And why I save and invest. How many of you invest something? Nothing? Nothing? Something? Gold? Oh, gold. Nice to look at. A little bit. What do you invest in? You share or not?
More commodities.
Commodities? Okay.
Crypto.
Crypto. Ooh.
Volatile.
Huh?
Volatile.
Okay.
Gold.
Property and land.
Property and land. Okay. Really good. So why I saved, I saved for my first apartment in Stockholm when I got married, of course. I saved for my kids. Do you have kids?
Yeah.
Are you putting in money for their future?
I don't have a big budget.
Okay, inshallah. Do you save for the future? Okay, good.
My future kids.
Hajj? You been to Hajj? No?
No, I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You been to Hajj? Okay.
I went to.
Are you want to go to Hajj?
Yeah.
Are you saving for Hajj? Are you saving for Hajj?
You can't save easy, you have to invest.
I know, that's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to. So there's different ways to invest. Of course, you can do monthly investing. I'm going to go through it a little bit. One-time stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, gold, commodities, real estate, of course. You have the workplace pension, you have private pension, SIP, right? It's called here. You can do ISA investments, junior ISA for your kids. This is what happened. We talked about compounding, right? Compounding wealth over time. So this is a small exercise we're going to do together, okay? So in January, I buy a stock. 100 kronor here, okay? 100 kronor is about 10 pounds. In February, the stock market goes down to 100. But I keep on buying, okay? I'm not scared yet. In March, the stock market has gone down even more, okay? Shall I buy or not? Buy?
low,
Okay.
buy.
But this is where a lot of people get scared and start selling.
Panic selling.
They want to get out,
Panic.
okay? They panic. So April, nothing happens. In May, the stock market starts to go up again, okay? Did you follow the stock market with the Trump tariffs in spring?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's when you buy it. That's when you buy it. You buy it when it's slow,
Exactly,
isn't
there
it?
you
You
go.
keep on-
And then in June, I'm back on 120. What's happened now?
You're even on the before.
Am I even? Okay.
But you have one again.
You made some, yeah? Anyone here? Am I even? Have I lost? Have I gained?
You have gained.
Gained.
No, you haven't. You still.
20%.
You have
Yeah,
gained.
20%.
I gained. I bought cheaper. It's like going to Tesco when it's half price. Everyone want to go and buy, right? But when it's half price on the stock market, people run away.
You want to sell.
Exactly.
Ironically.
So this is
Ironically.
think if you do monthly investings over time, historically you actually gained because this is compound. Okay, you buy into the market when it goes down. You keep on doing this every month. It's like when your pension, right? You get your salary. Some of the pension goes into a workplace pension. You buy into the market. Okay, goes down. You buy cheaper. Goes up. You gain. Okay. So this is actually my daughter's portfolio. Well, I started with both my kids. This is why I'm telling you this. Both my kids, when they were born, the same month they were born, I started an account. In Sweden, we have something called ISK. It's equivalent to an ISA or a junior ISA. So I saved 40 pounds for them both. So I started with Sami, he's 14 now. Sophia is 11. She's getting 12 in March. So this is actually what happened. So if I just would have taken the money and put it in an interest-free bank account that I know a lot of Muslims do. Even a brother came to me in Denmark, in Copenhagen, and he said, "Oh, I'm saving for my kids. I'm taking out cash every month, and I put them at home. Cash." I thought, "Oh, wow." And then I showed him this. So actually, my daughter would have had 5,500 pounds today if we didn't invest it. But she's actually up to 12,300 pounds with the compound over time, right?
And the initial investment was what? 40, you said?
40 pounds
Yeah, that's good.
from her birth.
That's good.
Keep on investing every month. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, exactly. Over time, you know,
Are you saying
it's not a guarantee. I'm coming back to this though.
Disclaimer.
You need to read this disclaimer. It's very important.
Did you invest every month 40 pounds?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was consistent.
In mutual funds or stocks, you know. So yes.
So you have spread the investment of future children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different places, yeah?
Yeah. Right now I have our Alcota, the Saturna, because that's the only Sharia compliant investment you can make in Sweden. Here you have all the options. You have so many options. In Sweden, we have one option. Alhamdulillah, for us, the Saturna is good, but I want the Muslims to have more in Sweden, of course. More variety. You have Curate Capital, you have Wahid, you have Faida, Nestor. You know, there's so many things you can do here. But I found that Muslims in the UK invest less than people in Sweden. But usually when I ask people in Sweden, in my seminars, and Denmark, and Norway actually, how many of you are investing? There's actually 40-50% to raise their hands. In the UK, 10%, 20% max. So it's,
Maybe some of them.
and you have all the options. It's crazy.
Yeah, maybe life in UK, if you can.
It's like a knowledge. As someone said it here before. So it's true. That's why we're trying to do this. This is actually for you. It's not about Saturna or Curate Capital or Wahid. It's about you. Start somewhere, okay? So different assets to invest in. I'm going to talk a little bit more about stocks. But before that, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what makes an investment in stocks purposeful. Do you know? Is it halal or haram to invest in stocks?
I was going to ask you that.
Huh?
I'm not sure I was going to ask you that.
Okay. Let's go through it. Yeah, let's go through it then. It's actually, I'm gonna take this. At the time of the Prophet, Quraysh said, well, trading is actually like riba. That's what they said to the Prophet, okay? Trading is like riba. So why does it care if we take riba or if we trade?
Would you say, sorry to interrupt you, would you say Forex is haram or halal?
Yeah,
It's split.
if you need to own the asset. That's the thing. That's the problem with Forex sometimes.
Because remember, when you do travel abroad, you've got no choice but to convert that currency to
Yeah.
the country's currency.
No, if it's converted
Yeah.
straight, then it's no problem.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. But Allah came down with this. Allah has permitted trade and has forbidden interest. This is the ayah that came down when the Quraysh said that trade is like riba. Okay, so, and Sharia, it's actually two branches, okay? So we have fiqh al-ibadat, okay? The worship, pray 5 times a day. We can't, there's no argument about praying 5 times a day, right? I can't go around and say, oh, I feel I have extra energy now. I'm going to do 6 rakat of dhuhr. I can't do that, okay? So that's one fixed, right? But we have fiqh al-muamalat, which is social contracts, how we deal with each other, contracting, investing, and all of that. This part is actually has been changing over time. It's due to the environment and the where we live, whereabout we live as well. So the fiqh al-muamalat, the social contracts, is changing and evolving. Okay. So, and this happened as well. So Saturna started before even the first Sharia standards came about. And so what they did it actually started before 1990, but what they did was, what happens when you put 10 scholars in a room? Will you have the same agreement? Rarely, right? But these guys managed to put 27 scholars together from all over the world to decide on how we can invest and what we can invest in. Okay? Because they started out, you know what they started out with? They looked at the largest index in the world, the S&P 500 is called, the 500 largest companies in the world. And they said, okay, we are not going to invest in any companies that have loans, that take debt, that have riba. Okay, so out of these 500 companies, how many did not have debt? What do you think?
What's the question?
I mean, it's very difficult to know unless.
How many?
None.
500.
It was actually 50. Yeah. 50 companies out of 500 did not have any debt at all. And they said, oh, good. Well, we can work around that. But then someone said, we can't invest in someone that have interest-bearing securities, that have money in the bank, because that is actually giving riba. So how many companies do you think were left now?
0.
Maybe 0.
0, exactly. There's no. So in order for us to be able to invest at all, they came up with the guidelines, the IOFA guidelines, founded in 1990. And it's 1,000, I mean, it's a large book. It's about, accounting, investing, and also different types of agreements, in this book. And these are some of the Sharia board members. There were 27, and I think today there are 19 board members. So from all over the world, agreed on these principles, which is crazy, unheard of.
It's rare.
Yeah. What's that?
Independent of part of the Bahraini government.
No, this is not part of the Bahraini government. I don't think so. It's based it was founded in Bahrain, but they were all from all parts over the world. Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani, he wrote a really good book, Introduction to Islamic Finance. So if you want to read more, it's a really good book actually. And from this, there's different standards. So Malaysia have their own, in the US they follow another, and these are some of the standards. So you would say, so you see that everyone agreed that the income from haram revenue can't be more than 5% in a company. This is what they agreed on. All right? And why is this? So for example, if you invest in an airline, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, whatever, they will, the permissible part is travel, right? You're taking people from A to B, okay? Haram or halal?
That's
So,
right.
yeah, the main business is halal, right? But they will sell alcohol on the plane. As long as the alcohol part is not, and whatever interest they get from keeping money in the bank is not over 5%, you can invest in this company, all right? So this, they all agreed on. And then it's different with total debt. So a company can't have more than 30% according to IOFI. In some, it will be 33%, for example. But keep it as low as possible, okay? And then cash and interest-bearing securities is also going to be 30%. So you can't invest in a company that have 80% of the money in the bank, because then the whole business has changed, right? It's actually a financial institute if you look at it. 30%. So these are just different Sharia standards out there. There's more than this as well. But yeah.
As long as the company is not heavily investing in the alcohol, you said 5% threshold.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So the whole the main business needs to be halal. Okay, so you can't invest in banks, gaming, pornography, alcohol, and stuff.
Provided it's not exceeding 5%.
Maximum 5%.
Just to work out.
That's quite lenient.
You can work it out. You can work it out. If you look at their annual report, you can see whatever other revenue there are. You can actually figure it out. Roughly, not maybe exactly, but roughly. So you could deep down in every company and look at the revenue, so you can derive the haram.
So the fatwa based on? Is it based on the fatwa?
You have to ask the 27 scholars. I'm not a mufti, sorry. But what I've heard, what they found was there's something in the Quran called qillah, littleness, smallness. Okay, so for example, if you, yeah, maybe, Allahu Alam, okay? So if someone pees in a lake, okay, you can still make wudu, right? So that's something behind it, okay? But you also have to purify. You can't just, alcohol never going to be halal, right? Interest never going to be halal. So whatever haram this company makes, you have to purify it once a year and give it away to charity, and not expecting any.
You know, that 5% return, you give it away.
It's not going to be 5%. It's going to be very small.
That's maximum.
So like.
Is that maximum 55%? That's what you said.
5%. But you don't take 5% out of your. You have to. It's calculated. We calculate it in our fund, for example, for the clients. I would say if you had £10,000, it will be maybe 15, 20, between 15 and 25 pounds that you have to purify. It's not more. It's very little. Okay.
The table you were using earlier, I'm sorry to push you back. You see there's a list now. You have the platforms like SMB, FS.
FTSE, yeah.
Is other tables reflect that? So you're saying SMB, they are that category, or it's just example?
Yeah, they have different ways to look at total debt. The third comes from a hadith. I don't know the hadith though, but it's like the Prophet ﷺ said something about the third. That's why they have this the third.
Yeah, my question is example that you said SMB, you showed here. So then is the first of the table correct? So the SMB, they have less than 5%.
Yeah, but this is just a Sharia standard. It's not.
Right.
So you can follow the S&P Sharia standard. You can follow the ISRA. You can follow the MSCI. So they all have their own Sharia books. Okay. So, but the AOFI on the top is the most common one. Yeah, so purification methods. You have to purify your portfolio every year and give away to charity, and not expect any gratitude for that. Okay, just give it away. Give it to Muslim aid. And you have to put, but whatever when you put, you have to put that it's actually interest money, because a charity can't use those money for everything. Okay, we need to use haram money that are given to charities. We can only spend it in a certain way, not for everything. So that's why whenever you give away, you purify your portfolio, you need to actually say that this is interest money.
I think it's fuel, directed to fuel.
So giving away is purifying it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'll get it. So what we do at Saturna, so for example, this is how a Sharia fund manager works. So what we will do, we will scan the global market. We look at 5,000 companies all over the world, from US to Japan, all right? So we'll look for these financials. We'll look at 5% revenue, 30% total debt, 30% interest-bearing securities. And from those 5,000, roughly around 2,000 companies comes out as clean, okay? Then we have another in Saturna. Not all Islamic fund managers do this, but we have an ESG screening. Do you know what ESG is? It will look for environmental qualities, social qualities, and governance qualities, okay? So, for example, we won't invest in companies that over-polluting the environment, okay? So no oil companies, coal and so
Not
forth.
total.
Huh?
Not total.
Yeah, exactly. And social qualities, how is the company treating the employees, and all of this. And governance, how is the company run? Is it a board? Is it an external board? Is it, all of these things. So we look at that. So from these 2,000 companies, roughly around 1,000 companies left, okay? And then we do, as an active manager, we actually pick and choose out of these. Okay, we look for, is this a good company to invest in? From the are they making profits? Is it a good market it's in? And so forth. So from all of these 5,000 companies, we have around 300 companies to choose from. And we pick 40, maybe 35 to 40 companies in our fund. Okay? You can do the QR code there, you can find the fund, you can read more about it. I'm not going to go into depth. So this is how we work. And this is something that always comes up about the BDS, Israel-Palestine. We are not there yet. I know all both IOFI, the Sharia boards, and also the fund managers are looking into this. It's very, very hard. Where do we draw the line? It's very, very hard. You can have a tire company, that make tires for cars and planes, and maybe a small portion of that is actually going towards fighter jets. So where do you draw the line? It's very hard. So, but I just want you to know the industry is looking into it. And we also have every Islamic fund manager will have a Sharia board and a consultant company. We use Amani advisors that do, it's just like auditing firm, okay? They do quarterly and yearly audits to see that we are following the Sharia criteria, okay? Mutual funds and ETFs. Okay, stocks and shares. Who does not know what a stock and shares? Stock is. Yeah.
Well, you don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, the stocks, it's actually, if I have a company and I want to get some money from the market, maybe I want to invest in a new factory, or I want to invest in
Shares.
Exactly, shares. So I give out shares and people invest, okay? But after that's done, if you you bought shares, but you want to sell them, you don't sell them back to me, you sell them to him, okay? You sell them to Max, all right? Exactly, you put them on the market, on the stock exchange, London Stock Exchange, Frankfurt, Nasdaq in the US, Dow Jones, and so forth. And mutual funds and ETFs work like this. So what we do as fund managers, so we say, okay, we have this fund, and you are the investors, and you maybe think, oh, I'm not really, I don't know if I'm going to buy Apple or Google or AstraZeneca, so maybe I just leave this with a fund manager. So whatever, you pool your money together and put them into our fund, and we will pick the stock and shares for you and try to make the best investments possible for you and for us. Okay? And you can then sell the funds whenever you want. Okay? And a mutual fund is actually, this is the behind it, it's a mutual. We have this fund together, okay? We will manage it, and you will buy shares in the fund. And you can trade it once a day, okay?
Sorry, in terms of putting your money and taking it out, is it similar to a bank? In terms of how easy it is for you to transfer a bit of your money, like transfer it, you need a bit of money to take it.
Mutual funds, you can only trade once a day. And it might take a few days to get the money when you sell it, okay?
Similar to a bank. Similar.
Yeah, it's not as easy as a bank. A bank, you can just pull your money out.
So it's accessible.
No, it's going to take you a couple of days to get the money out, okay? ETFs, it's actually a fund traded on the stock market. So this is another. Here you can actually buy and sell in real time when the stock market is open, and that's easier. So you can actually buy an ETF in the morning, you can sell it in the afternoon. But it will come with a commission or a buy and sell cost instead of a mutual fund. But both of the funds, we as fund managers, we will take a percentage for the work we do from you. So for example, our fund will take 0.75%
Yes, I'm also.
per year, but we'll take it out little by little every day over the year. Okay? Some funds take 1.5%, one will be 0.5. So it's different. And it doesn't matter, it's actually, if it's cheap or expensive, depends on what you're actually getting, right? Over time. So sometimes an actively managed fund, maybe it's a bit higher price, but maybe you get more in the end, but you may not. So it depends on, you have to look for a good fund manager. Okay, just a little bit, I'm gonna finish off. Who knows how to think about risk? How many you invested in the crypto?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, high or low risk?
Low risk.
Low risk, okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Huh? Yeah.
Depends on the factor and what you're missing into.
Type of crypto?
Some of them are more stable.
Okay.
The stable ones, they're expensive. You can't really invest there easily.
Yeah, you will have, of course you will have differences between crypto. You will have more high risk stocks and less risk stocks, okay? But I'll show you this. First of all, what factors? There's a lot of factors that affects our investments, right? It's inflation. We talked about inflation, right? Inflation will actually determine what the interest rate will be. So when the inflation is high, what do the government have to do?
Print more money.
They print more money, yeah. No. That's a bad decision when it comes to inflation. But they have to raise the interest rates, right? Yeah. And what happens with real estate investments? The price of real estate. Because usually real estate are leveraged, right? The price go down on real estate. And also with stocks. Because bear in mind, if the interest rates goes up, if you have a company with a lot of debt, your cost of that debt is going to go up, right? And that will cause the stock price to go down. That's why usually Islamic funds with very low debt usually can be more stable in a downward market, okay? Okay? So over time, it might be a little bit stable, okay? More stable. Energy price. Islam compliant is important for us, of course. Time horizon. I'm going to come back to time horizon because it depends on when you're going to use the money, okay? So this is the risk pyramid. So risk management starts with this. So crypto, even though you have high and low risk within the crypto, they're all going to be on the high risk. A single stocks, even though you think, there's not, too much risk in this company, but it's always going to be a high risk. Okay? There might be some stocks that are more risky, but single stocks is always going to be on the high risk. If you buy 40 companies in a global equity fund like ours or Wahid or whatever, you will have, you diversify your risk, okay? You have some in the US, you have some in Europe, you have some in Asia, and you diversify the risk. So the risk will come down. So a global equity fund will be on the medium high risk, okay? Then property is going to be on the medium low. It depends on where you buy the property. I had a brother in Switzerland. He said he bought a property in Egypt. And the property itself might be low risk. But buying a property in Egypt was high risk because of the currency, right? So he lost a lot of money because of the currency.
Fluctuates.
Yeah. So you need to think, what currency are you investing in? Are you investing in British pounds or US dollar? And also in Sweden, there was a lot of Turkey. We have a lot of Turkish brothers and sisters in Sweden, and they all invested in Turkey. They were very popular 10 years ago.
Foreign exchange.
And what happened with the Turkish lira? The lira just totally crashed. So their investment was low risk, but the currency was high risk. So the total investment was high risk, okay? But they thought it was low risk. So this is now how you need to think about it. And then capital planning. Here comes the time horizon, right? So whenever you're going to use the money. So brother, with the crypto, when are you going to use the money?
When am I?
Whenever?
Just recently.
Okay.
Do you know what? You know what it was? Yeah, we invested in a company.
Okay.
My business partner at the time is from Bangladesh. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were top marketers in East London, like when we was out there.
Okay.
And it was a lot of you know the network marketing companies, like the so-called pyramid.
Yeah, yeah.
Scam in it. So we put their money in about a week because we were one of the first. We got a lot of money.
Okay.
But then they took everyone's crypto basically.
Oh, right.
So yeah, but we earned a lot of money at the time.
Okay.
This is about like 15 years ago.
Okay. High risk though.
Yeah, high risk. Yeah, it was high risk.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the thing is, if you're going to use your money, I always divide my capital. So if I have £10,000, I'm going to actually divide my capital. Okay, how much do I need the coming 6 months or up to a year? I might need half of that, or I might need 30%. I'll put them in low risk. Okay, there could be sukuk mixed with interest-free bank account. All right, I just keep them there. Money that I look at maybe 3 to 5 years, 2 to 5 years, that's going to be on the medium. I put them in a global equity fund, like a Saturn Kautar or anyone else on the market. High risk.
What's your year X? Is that plus?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
More.
plus 5 years.
Yeah.
Far away. If I'm a young person, I'm not that young anymore, but I mean pension-wise. If I put in a pension, I can take higher risk. If I'm going to use the money for 30 years from now, I can take more risk. Usually.
Why? Because you're not going to use that anytime.
Because of this. This is the stock market, the last 10 years. Okay? So, if I invested in the stock market in 2018, it was a top there, right? Yeah. So, if I needed the money within 1 to 2 years, was it a good investment or not? It was bad, right?
Low risk.
Yeah.
Exactly. What happened there? COVID, right? So it was a bad decision.
Yeah.
That's what I mean with the time horizon. You need to put the right money
Right time.
in the right time, right?
High risk.
But if I had like 6 years or 10 years time horizon, I would have been on plus. Okay?
Yeah.
So over time, the stock market has gone up and down. So no guarantees.
Disclaimer.
I'll tell you a story. When I run my haram company, I call it a haram company, the advisory in 2005 until 2010. In 2007, a lady came to me. She was 64 years old. She was going to retire the next year at 65. Remember the year 2007, okay? 2007, well, it was okay. 2007, in September, October, it was okay. Okay? She had her whole pension, it was like, I think it was like £400,000 or something in her pension. She had invested her whole pension in a Latin America mutual fund. A mutual fund, Latin America, is it high or low risk?
High risk.
Extremely high risk. Okay? She was going to retire the next year.
Especially Argentina.
So, she was here, but she should have been there. Okay? So I told her, okay, listen, you're going to retire in 1 year. We need to sell this fund. We need to just put everything in something really low risk, because you can't gamble anything with your money. £400,000 or £300,000. I can't remember how much it was. But it was her whole pension. And she was going to live out of this money the rest of her life, from 65. What happened in 2008? The mother of all crashes, right? The currency, the credit crunch. So, that was, but the thing is, we changed her fund. So, but how much do you think this Latin America fund, I had a meeting with her the next year when everything has crashed. You know how much it went down? The fund she had? 80%. 80%. So she would have lost 80% of her whole pension. She would not have been able to retire at 65, maybe at 75, to gain all that money back, right? So this is why you need to be really careful. Put the right money over time in the right pocket, okay? Long money, we can take some more risk. Short money, stay out of risk, all right? So this is exactly what I'm saying. She was actually investing, she invested in her fund here when she had 10 years or more to her pension, right? So the closer you get to when you're going to use the money, you need to lower the risk. Okay? So don't stay with crypto.
That makes sense.
So if you go to Hajj next year, you have, how much is Hajj from the UK? 10,000 pounds. It's crazy, isn't it? I went 2019, it was 5,000. It's doubled. The Hajj inflation is between 10 and 15%. I did a calculation. So whatever you invest, you need to start saving.
Why do you do this? I don't understand. Honestly, I don't
Hello, Alan. Politics.
Yeah.
You know, the oil is going to disappear one day, and they only have Mecca and Medina left. So, inshallah. So this is, I'm going to leave you with this and have some Q&A if you have. You've been good people and asking questions all along, so I mean, maybe you're tired of asking, but I'll let you. And if you want, contact me, please connect on LinkedIn, you can email me. If you have questions you come up with afterwards, don't worry.
If somebody invests in your establishment, let's say £1,000, in crypto, would you make sure that the crypto is halal?
We don't invest in crypto.
Okay.
No, only in stocks.
If they invest £1,000,
Yeah.
What is the share in profit? Let's say you gain £1,000 from £1,000. It reaches £2,000. How much is the agreement between you and the
We have 0.75% on the whole capital every year.
right?
Yeah, that's our fee. It's called management fee. So whatever analysis we do, we have how many analysts? We have
19.
18.
19.
Huh?
19 now.
19. So we have 19 men and women analyze all the companies that we look to invest in. Okay. So
Pontus,
we take.
can you speak to the mic? It sounds better in the mic.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Man.
Yeah.
That's right, I've got my-
See,
Yeah, drift away.
I need to, yeah. So, so we take a management fee. So after the 10% we will already have taken our 0.75% from the capital. Okay, and the rest is yours. And then obviously you can use a tax wrapper, the ISA. You can, how much can you put into an ISA? Is it 20,000? 20,000 pounds per year, right?
Yeah.
And it's tax free on
That's
capital gains. Yeah, so that's a good thing. We have similar in Sweden, ISK. So similar.
But you have no control in ISA to whom the money goes for investment. They may.
No, it's just tax wrapper. You will choose
Right.
what to invest in. If you want to invest in an ETF or you want to buy stocks and shares or mix them. Like I have a mix. I have a compound fund as like a base, and then I invest in different stocks and shares. Have some gold.
Diversify.
Yeah, diversify.
Sorry, Pontus, or shall I call you Bilal?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Either. Listen, what's the minimum with you? I know Curate's 5k, but what's with
I think it's £10 per share, around that. Not even that.
So you can do the minimum stuff?
Yeah. You can do £40 a month. You can do.
So scan that on the website.
Yeah. But you can find.
Is it app? You've got that?
No.
Apps. Oh.
But we will be on, all the trading to want to. What are they called? There's multiple investment platforms. Interactive investor. You can buy it through the banks, probably.
Well, this is a lot more reasonable than Curate.
Yeah, I mean,
5k is breaking the bank for a lot of people, isn't it?
start building wealth.
Yeah, of course.
Then you can diversify.
Of course.
When you have the money, with the 5,000k to curate,
Yeah, that
you
makes
know, you
sense,
can
yeah.
build.
But for someone just
So-
starting off, you see, that's what I'm saying. For someone
Yeah, it's easy
less-
to start.
less
That's what I'm
privileged-
saying.
less
The
privileged.
stock market is probably the easiest way to start investing and building wealth. And then you can diversify over time. Because it's easy to invest. You can invest very little money and you can take it out whenever you want to. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Because these large investments is hard to, okay, I need the money in 2 months. No, it will take 6 months until you get it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Sagrafe.
Pleasure. Yeah, pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much. It has been an occasion.
Well, you were right.
If you haven't invested in anything,
Yeah.
Sharing the risk.
That's
well,
Key.
remember the disclaimer, I can't give you advice.
That's right, yes.
If I have little money, I would start, if I don't know anything, I'll start with a fund.
For quite a while.
Little by little, monthly investing, maybe in an ISA,
Very usual.
and you can buy our fund, you can buy,
Then recently I started
ISA is a tax wrapper, so it's actually,
trading
it's like an account.
2020.
So you open the ISA with interactive broker or AGBell or
buying gold.
these investment platforms that you can find. I think Trading 212 also. And then you put your money in the ISA, and then you invest your money
Yeah, I mean,
there. You buy ETF, you buy stock and shares, whatever. So
That's true. That's true.
The only thing that nobody is interested in.
No, the last few years was extremely low. So even that interest you can keep. Is she downstairs? She's downstairs. Okay, the products of this, is it for the other speaker or this speaker? Well, actually, the one with inflation. Oh, yeah, he's already got it. Yeah.
You have to run off, so.
Yeah, because you have to go. Yeah, I don't remember that thing.
Yeah, it's something that goes back 10 years ago.
think you need to be a little bit active. Just at least you can log in yourself.
Which organization was he from?
Every day or every
Islamic
week.
Finance Guru.
Depends on when
What
you need the money.
initially create formula, the formula I started initially was actually we were quite
So what I do,
started
I
a
always,
good time.
I
Yeah,
save
but
myself
we
every month.
started about 2005 and
Every month.
was a good
I start
time. So now what we do
Swedish
is
except for my
it was
If you go on the Muslim Main's website, you just start with the grouping other locations. Yeah.
and
I'm more,
based on visit.
Okay.
And then we take
So
some
when something goes down.
equals it out.
Okay.
And then we put
Yeah,
some
so
other
there will be one in
and now it's
London,
starting to activate in
that's probably
Nairobi,
the other
Mombasa, something like that.
Newton, if you want.
Big problem. And then you rent
that's
it
one
out.
of the two projects.
No,
No, that's just the
Okay, so that's the formula we use.
Yeah, if you visit the Muslim Aid website, I think you will be advertised, yeah? You'll be advertised there.
It's not the event.
Something which you guys see as yeah.
Jazakallah khair.
Recently I started gold.
Yeah.
But now the information you guys gave us is really eye-opening. So probably I will approach you guys and see how this goes.
خلاص خلاص أعطيها.
His father was the founder.
Jazakallah khair for